Now, ladies and gentlemen, you know, talking is cheap. But we can't all condemn the white man. There's something we got to do. The white man is doomed, but we got to help him on his way. And I don't mean in the jest of hate. I mean according to the plan of divine providence. He that has been up a long time must come down. He that's been down a long time must rise.
If you are an American Negro and an American Negro only, subscribe to Rasslin with Racism on YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, fanbase, Spotify, Rumble, and at Crackers That Out on Twitter X. You can find more white truths.
Sure not pretty, and her skirt is short. Lord knows her legs are steady, and to walk to school, she's got to get up early. With clothes on, but they are never ever dirty. They're living just enough for the city. My brother is smart, he's got more sense than many. His patience is long, but soon he won't have any. 'Cause to find a job is like a haystack needle. 'Cause where he lives, they don't use colored people. They're living just enough for the city.
And now, our feature presentation.
But we can't all condemn the white man. There's something we got to do. The white man is doomed, but we got to help him on his way.
Welcome to Rasslin with Racism, where we wrestle with racism every single day of our lives. If you are an American Negro and you are not subscribed to Rasslin with Racism, check out the other content. And if it hits you to the core, subscribe and share with every single American Negro that you know, whether they are wrestling fans or not. You may also find Rasslin with Racism on YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, Fanbase, Spotify, Rumble, and at Non-Crackers at Al on Twitter X, where you can find more white truths. I had to come up here just for a few minutes because it's something that is burning me up inside. It's been bothering me all week, but then the WWE just tended to make it worse last night. I've been around talking to different wrestling fans all over Twitter, and everybody is, even the most excited fans, those that were all over the WWE stuff last year or over the past year, is getting sickened to the point to where they don't know how they can move on as wrestling fans. Triple H is showing that he doesn't have the ability to create stars. He doesn't have the ability to maintain stars. One of the worst things that he's doing right now is recycling all of the older talent. And they are not keeping any real type of intrigue. The WWE is bland, and much worse, the WWE is white. The WWE is relying on white. Wes Lee was released last week. White folk question me and ask, why does it have to be about race? Why is this a racial issue? White folk are trying to use the excuse that Wes Lee is his heel run, his heel turn is the reason for his release, which is the dumbest excuse that you could give for somebody as talented as Wes Lee. We here at Rasslin with Racism over the past year and a half has been noting that Wes Lee was doing some of the best work in TNA and NXT as a heel. As a matter of fact, he was the best running heel in pro wrestling until Naomi turned heel. Yet they chose to fire him. And one of the reasons that they gave to the public as for firing him is because he's been down in NXT for 5 years. And we just don't have nothing for him on the main roster. But yesterday, they've been having this United States Championship Open Challenge. Sami Zayn has been defeating people left and right. And Javon Evans came up there, performed his behind off. He performed better than any other white or Hispanic or Jap throughout the entire year in any match. Yet he has another loss on his record. There is a lot of hype behind the Nigerian Obafemi come up on the main roster. There's a lot of hype behind them wanting him to challenge Sami Zayn and win this challenge. Nowhere to be found. But they dig up this Russian white who it's funny because white folk get behind him. They say that he has great matches. He's pretty dang on good. Yet his name doesn't ring out. When you look at this guy, when a casual fan look at this guy, it's not ringing out as we want to see him. Remember, Casuals is the one with the money. Casuals is the one that's going to these shows. Casuals are the ones that's buying this merchandise. What does this Russian offer wrestling fans genuine? When you got an exciting American Negro such as Wes Lee and you cannot find a thing to do for him? Carmelo Hayes has been on the roster. Carmelo Hayes has been on the roster for a year and a half, and he had much greater intrigue than this Dragunov guy. And yet, he's playing a slave that's breaking away from his slave master when his counterpart, Braun Breaker, just chose to take matters into his own hands. The storyline has been Carmelo Hayes has been trying to figure out a way to break away for freedom. The WWE is going backwards. The WWE is going backwards. You know, a lot of people, Gatekeeper, what's up? I see you. Good morning, sweetheart. They going backwards. They going backwards to whiteness. Wrestling fans, white wrestling fans specifically, may not even realize that internally they are bored with white. It's never going to get better until they choose to put genuine effort behind American Negro. Historically, Japanese wrestlers has never been able to sell in America. Historically, Hispanic wrestlers has never been able to sell in pro wrestling. They appreciate the work, but they're not on top, nor do they want to see them on top. When Rey Mysterio was world champion, SmackDown ratings at that time was at its lowest. And we talking about Rey Mysterio. WWE got to see this problem for what it is. Vonnie Stash, what's up? You said every NXT call has been champion besides Mello. Can't convince me that Triple H isn't racist. You know why folks sit up here, excuse me, certain people sit up here and say that Triple H not beating these allegations. At what point do you recognize that these allegations are facts and advocate for him and his staff to be removed? No coincidence. Just a year ago, they tried to sell us on the big three. Bianca Belair, Naomi, and Jade Cargill, who's a Jamaican, by the way. Because we do note that the WWE issue specifically is against American Negro. Now we're down to just one. She isn't so big as the WWE can't find a thing to do with her anymore. Bianca Belair, you know, I don't want to downplay her injury, but it seems as if she should be back by now. And the WWE has her on the inactive list, but they don't have a specific reason. If you go check it out, it's not listed as to why she's out right now. So it appears that she's healed. It's funny, you know, they can't find something to do for Wes Lee. They can't, it seems as if they can't find anything to do with Bianca Belair because Naomi is out. But they got this Russian who, I'm not a hater, but is going to fail in the WWE. And yet he's going to continue to be forced down our throats as if he is some type of great talent. It's sickening that we got to go that direction. And it's hard to be a wrestling fan knowing that the WWE don't have no interest in American Negroes. When I see Trick Williams, I can't help but to see Carmelo Hayes' future. Not good. When I see Wes Lee, I can't help but to see Javon Evans' future. And that's not good. These American Negro wrestlers are coming to a realization that hard work, dedication, drive, and passion just isn't good enough. And the WWE will raise you to a certain level. They will never let you pass that. When you think of the most successful American Negroes in pro wrestling history, who do you think about? And what are their successes? Generally, they're a one-time world champion here. You know, Ron Simmons held the title for 2-3 months, lost it, never got it again, never received another championship match again. We didn't receive an American Negro champion to Booker T. Booker T, they'll tell you, is a 5-time WCW champion. But when you look at the amount of time that he held those championships, all 5 of those, it equals up to a month. 30 days. But this is what we got to hang on to for a lifetime. Now, hey, he got a very decorated resume. He's one of the most highly decorated mid-card wrestlers in the history of pro wrestling. That's no doubt. But we just got to eat off of him and his successes for a lifetime. When you start to realize that Kofi Kingston is a former WWE champion. And by the way, he's Ghanaian. Held the title. He was a fighting champion. He had a pretty damn good championship reign. I'm not even upset that he lost to Brock Lesnar in the manner that he did because that's expected from Brock Lesnar. But he never became a genuine contender again. As a result, he never held the WWE Championship again. So now it appears to me that you gave it to him as an act of pandering. When you look at the fact that Bobby Lashley, two-time WWE champion, had a very dominant reign, his first reign, it was very enjoyable. However, Bobby Lashley is a Hispanic, Spanish-speaking Hispanic by the way of Panama. He is a Panamanian. He is not an American Negro. He does not represent American Negroes. WWE never had an American Negro WWE champion. So now we start to look at the real specific problem. Funny part is the most intriguing people over the last decade in pro wrestling, literally over the last decade, has been American Negroes. Bianca Belair came into this industry and became better than everyone, men included. And she drives intrigue from many little girls. How many little girls actually want to be Rhea Ripley? Halloween is coming up. We'll see about that. But and Rhea Ripley is the epitome of Halloween too. But you choose. White folks say that they were tired of Bianca Belair and the successes that she had. Although she's just a three-time women's world champion, Becky Lynch and them got 6, 7. Uh, Carla Flair got what, 15, 14. These women could just come in, these men and women could come in and be multiple time champions all over the place. Yet when an American Negro does it, it's just too damn much. You can't take it no more. But I'm constantly seeing Rhea Ripley in the position that I'm seeing her in, and she just doesn't offer anything anymore. She's a good wrestler, but good is good enough for white folk. Great from a Negro. It's never enough. Where do we go from here? Trick Williams is carrying two organizations on his back. He is delivering the best work out of anybody in TNA right now. And as a matter of fact, he's delivering the best work out of NXT, including over there White, Ricky Starks. But he's not being, I guarantee you, he's not being paid as such. I guarantee you, it's bonus season coming up too. Guarantee you that bonus check may be little to none. Just to come up to the main roster and stick them with Carmelo Hayes or literally do nothing with them as the Street Profits are on their way out the door. In the tag team division, the Street Profits have been the most intriguing people over the last 5 years, 4 or 5 years, despite the fact that the WWE does nothing with them. They've been teasing a breakup for the last 2 months. Triple H, what's the holdup? You making me not even want to see them break up? Why is it a holdup when it comes for American Negroes? It's been a holdup for Naomi for years. It was a storyline just a few years ago to where Sonya Deville, a nobody, was general manager, and she would not give Naomi a match or anything. Week after week, Naomi was going to do everything below begging to get a match. And that storyline literally drug on for 3 or 4 months, and it led to nowhere. Naomi wasn't even a serious contender for the championship until 4 or 5 years later. Despite her being one of the most intriguing women, along with Bianca Belair, in the last. But as Brother Vonnie Stash pulled these names out. Tiffany Stratton, Lyra and Julia and Stephanie all hold championships and all hold great standings in the WWE effortlessly and flawlessly. And we, the fans, have to beg to see American Negroes wrestle on PLEs. That's getting worse. A year ago, this month, that Triple H looked into the camera and told the world that he don't see color. He don't want to see them. And on this day, he has proven that to be true. But I want everyone to wake up and realize all of your complaints about the WWE, and you don't even realize that that's the reason why. You want to see color, you just don't know it, or you don't want to admit it. And in the world of color, there are no more intriguing, athletic, and charismatic group of people in this world than American Negroes. Can I prove it? Can you name 10 of your favorite African athletes in the history of athletics? 10. Can you name 10 of your favorite Jamaican or Haitian people, athletes in the world? How about actors? How about musical artists? Who are these creative people? Who are these intriguing people? The job is with American Negroes. American Negroes touch the world. We entertain the world at the highest capacity. The most racist white will pay top dollar to see an American Negro, so long as we can entertain them. And it's crazy, in a fake, scripted, combative sport. Fake, by the way. Something that you could write out. Hand a piece of paper to somebody, and they're going to perform it exactly that way. You mean to tell me that they make American Negroes the worst, all the way at the bottom, despite our capabilities? It's no coincidence. These are not allegations. Triple H and the white powers that be in the WWE are willing to kill their brand before they give American Negroes the proper success. They're willing to kill their brand. Stephanie Ventura offers nothing. Some people are just made for the indies. Hey, some people are just made for whatever particular country they're from. This is America. Everything in pro wrestling that has been done has been done. Really nothing new that WWE could provide. What's up, Goten? There's nothing really new that the WWE could provide to us. It's really nothing that they could do anymore, because they have done it all. And that's why they're recycling things. That's why John Cena and AJ Styles had the match that they had, because they can't create anything new anymore. They can't be creative inside that ring anymore. We've seen it all. And they continue to rehash. Dominic Mysterio is Eddie Guerrero all of a sudden still. Eddie Guerrero is so talented. Eddie Guerrero never played the same character more than 2 years in a row, if that. Yet Dominic Mysterio is making the whole living off of it. He's not even putting no effort into himself. He looked like shit. Take that shirt off. I guarantee you're going to find a beer belly. Eddie Guerrero didn't work like that. So you can rehash all of these storylines and characters and just rehash everything and wondering why it's not working. How about rehashing this stuff with American Negroes and see how that come out? This is the only thing that hasn't been done before. Are white folks so afraid to see more than 15 American Negroes be on top in the wrestling industry at one time? It's funny because y'all get sucked into our music, y'all get sucked into our TV shows, y'all get sucked into our movies, but when it comes down to being combative, you want us to be weaker than or non-existent? Existent. Do you really want to be a wrestling fan? Because your whiteness is destroying it. And you don't know it. So let's use the term properly, white folk. I suggest you people wake up. I suggest you people wake up and realize that you are sick of white. You're sick of Rhea Ripley. You're sick of Becky Lynch. You're sick of Tiffany Stratton. You're sick of Cody Rhodes. You're sick of Drew McIntyre. You're sick of Sami Zayn. All white. You're sick of the Wyatt Six. Who is funny that they chose to put more genuine effort behind these clowns than they do of the Street Profits, who we have witnessed both of them make major overhaul transition of their bodies. They put in more effort than even the New Day, who remain and tend to get better year after year, greater shape than most. These guys are putting genuine effort into their bodies, waiting to work. The WWE had no serious, genuine plans when they did that stuff with Big E, and yet the New Day made it work. It's like when a Negro overexcels in anything, they feel like, hey, you can't do that. Let's bring you down a peg or two and put you in your place. White folk, why you telling me that Javon Evans? What ability does Cody Rhodes, the WWE champion, have that Javon Evans don't have? Right? What are you looking for? Is there anything in particular? Well, what's the problem with him being on the main roster? Then say make him WWE champion, but I am trying to find a comparison between him and the WWE champion. What's the issue with that? What is the issue with Wes Lee being on the main roster? What are y'all looking for? Let's be serious. What are y'all looking for? So I don't know. I'm in a state of influx right now. We are concluding our season 2 finale. The final taping is today, and it doesn't have anything to do with wrestling. We are out of wrestling, and we gonna really take a step back on wrestling. Now, wrestling with racism is still going to continue to go weekly. We are going to take a month hiatus to do an overall how we gonna do this program. More than likely, we are going to just cover pay-per-views when it come down to Negroes. When it come down to wrestling, we just don't have the intrigue to do it. We don't have the incentive to do it. We don't care. We don't watch wrestling. We can't sit down and watch an entire episode of Raw, SmackDown, Dynamite, pay-per-views. We don't care. Literally the last PLE I watched was the Negroes at SummerSlam. Since then, they haven't had any Negroes on the PLE, so we don't care. It's really nothing to report on in the WWE or AEW. However, there are major issues going on in this country toward American Negroes. Negroes are dying as a result. So I kind of want to send my attention down south for season 3, because we are going to wrap up season 2, and the topic is going to be what makes a coon a coon. Is cooning a form of mental illness? And can a coon be restored? And that is going to be in conjunction with our overall topic of mental health, mental illness, mental wellness, and mental wealth in the American Negro community. It's going to be a very important discussion, much needed discussion. Season 3 is going to start looking more toward the South, as there, I believe, are still many lynchings that's going on down south, and it's not so prevalent in the national media, but even in the local media. Wrestling with racism is much larger than wrestling. We view racism through the lenses of pro wrestling, but we can't move forward as wrestling fans if these wrestlers are not waking up to the issue. I know that these young wrestlers want to do the best they can to live out their life as free as they can as Americans, but when you know that you got that thorn in your side, and you know that you work 5, 10, 20, 100 times harder than any other ethnic group, and you still can't max out your potential in industry that you give your life for. That kind of got to be cut somewhere. I could talk about this all day long. My co-host could talk about this all day long, and your average American Negro wrestling fan could talk about this all day long. But until we get, and at this point, there's nothing that Mark Henry and R-Truth and Ron Simmons and them could say. The damage is already done with them. But if you get it from the top, if you get Bianca Belair, the Street Profits, Rick Williams, Wes Lee, Javon Evans, The New Day, Naomi, to collectively come together and express that there is a system of white supremacy via anti-blackness. Swerve Strickland, Keith Lee, Powerhouse Hobbs, if they collectively come together and exploit the problem for what it is, it's going to put both Tony Khan and the white powers that be in the position to recognize the issue and correct it, or to completely dismiss the issue, let these Negroes go. And if they were to do that, what will white folk say then? Would you continue to support the WWE if they were to outright let every Negro go? That is going to show us, American Negroes, where white America stands with American Negro. How much is that going to impact WWE? Are there more non-racist whites in America than they are racist whites in America? Let's see. More black wrestlers in the WWE need to stop being afraid and speak out. They have to stop being afraid. You're right, Vonnie. They have to stop being afraid, but they have to stop being afraid as a collective. You know, if one person were to do it, if Naomi were to do it, hey, if Bianca Belair were to do it, they'll put her in the same silo. Now, seriously. You know what I'm saying? It has to be as a collective. Anyone who starts a revolution on their own is a damn fool. It has to be as a collective. Carmelo Hayes have to get with his guys and these women. Lash Legend, you know, Callie Armstrong. I mean, from the top of the WWE to the bottom of the WWE, they have to come together and figure this out. We don't have no protection either. You know what I'm saying? So they may have to pool their money together, just like the union. Pool your money together in case one or two fall here. You will be able to financially take care of your brothers and sisters. We got to protect each other because there is no protection for us whatsoever in this industry. All we have is each other. You know, like I said, Bianca Belair is breaking ground for Negro women. Who's going to be breaking ground for Negro women in 2050? Like, it's got to come from the bottom of the WWE to the top of the WWE with no white interference. You don't need white folks. You don't need white folk. You don't need the Asians and none of this stuff. This is something that American Negroes have to do for one another. Because, like I said, we are completely facing erasure. That's what the WWE want to do with us overall. So now we getting to the point to where they're using these mixed talent. Sol Rukas, Kelani Jordan, Jada Parker. These are the women that's about to knock Bianca Belair out the box. In the name of blackness, by the way. These are the ones that's about to knock Naomi out the box. You know, by the time Naomi come back, she'll be a 40-year-old woman. And that's going to be white folks' excuse as to why WWE is justified in not doing shit with her before they release her. These are the same white folk that praise Dustin Rhodes, a well-known drug addict throughout this industry, a sexual predator throughout this industry. These are the people that praise him and going down there going on 60 years old, holding 3 championships at one time. These are the ones that praised Hulk Hogan for being a 40, 50-year-old man along with Randy Savage and Ric Flair. These are the ones that praised them for holding these strong, uh, standings at that age. You know what I'm saying? Randy Orton is 46, 47. John Cena, look at what he's going through right now at his old age. Sheamus, they advocate, they mad at Sheamus. Now, they more mad that Sheamus not on the PLE than we are if American Negroes not appearing on the PLE. So we see how hypocritical white folk is. Vonnie Soul Ruka may be mixed, and you don't see her as that. She's a white passing woman, but she's a white woman completely. I find it funny how white folk, oh, when they mix with black, oh, they're black, they're black, they're black, they're black, they're black, as if they not white at all. How disrespectful to the white side, to their white lineage. How disrespectful.
I can think of younger days when living for my life
She's a white woman.
was everything a
And
man
it's funny because how do we know that her father
but I
is actually her father?
never see tomorrow.
And on top of that, I don't know. I tried to search. He look a little Jamaican, one of them light skinned Jamaicans and shit. But hey, I wouldn't have an issue with her. I wouldn't have an issue with Mercedes Monet. Problem is, these women are choosing not to reproduce with an American Negro man. So Ruka is with a white man. You can't help who your parents are. That's true. Malcolm X is mixed with all types of shit. He can't help that. He corrected his situation by having 6 American Negro children, who then in turn had more American Negro children. You can correct your situation. But these people are choosing not to correct their situation, so they are white. Don't let nobody tell you different. Trust me, Triple K and other backstage WWE officials view her as a white woman also. You damn right they do. That's why they have her. They're just going to put that label that she's black. They're just going to put that label on her just to knock Bianca Belair off the box. Y'all better trust me when I say this. Like I said, wrestling with racism been around for 5 years. But we have been producing material for 2 years. All the stuff that's going on in the WWE today, we have been calling this for the last 5 years. Certain things that we say, it may seem as if you got to know that wrestling with racism is not a joke. Certain things that we say may seem like a hot take at the moment. Last year, it was a hot take to say that Wes Lee would be fired today. It was a hot take last year. We have it documented in February. We stated that Ricky Starks, soon as Ricky Starks come onto the scene, God damn it, these kids jumping around and stuff. Everybody's starting to get up now. It was a hot take. It was a hot take that just a year ago that Wesley would be fired right now. You know, white folks should up there and tell me, hey, Wesley's doing his best work. He's a heel. He's killing it. And the Rascals and TNA and all this other different shit. Yet they not here. So the hot take is going to be that Bianca Belair is going to be out of the WWE within 2 years. That seemed impossible, right? Where is she at now? It seems impossible to say that Javon Evans is not going to be here within 4 years. And he's young, so they're not going to hesitate for him to get into it with somebody, whether he is right or wrong. at an airport or get into it with his girlfriend or something in order for him to be out the door. Justifiable. Be put out the door. This stuff is happening. And they're going to continue to build Obafemi. And they're going to continue to build Ricky Starks. And they're going to continue to build Sol Ruka. And they're going to continue to build Jada Parker. And they're going to continue to build Kehlani Jordan in the name of blackness. As Lash Legend and Trick Williams and Bianca Belair and Naomi and the Street Profits and Carmelo Hayes and Xavier Woods are shown the door justifiably. It make us sound like haters when we delineate. It make us sound that we're anti-black when we delineate. And all the people that are named, I'm not putting them down as wrestlers, but they can't make it. The other melanated people can't make it into their own country. More than likely, these people don't fuck with us here in this country. They don't understand us and they don't want to. I'm not putting these people down. I would like to see them do well, but I would like to see American Negroes have equal or greater success. And that's not happening. And that's where I have my issue with them. I'm not going after them, but I'm going after the people that put them in the position to outtake American Negroes, when in actuality, too, American Negroes are still better than these people. We just are. We are. We're better than all the Hispanics. Penta don't offer shit. What is Penta? Goten, is you still here? What does Penta do for you? Does Penta do something for you? God. What does Alexa Bliss do for anybody? You know what I'm saying? What does she do for anybody? Does Alexa Bliss, what does Liv Morgan do for anybody? Do Dominic Mysterio really work for you? I got a petition out on Triple H on change.org, urging each and every single American Negro to sign that petition. Now, along with signing that petition, you have the opportunity to comment or make a video or make a voice recording expressing your feelings. We know that the petition isn't going to do a damn thing to get Triple H out of there. But in one box, it's going to show that there is a need to see American Negroes do well in this industry consistently, collectively, and separately. Because you know they won't hesitate to lump Negroes together. Along with these 15 people on top, I need them to be on top separately. It's going to show these people how we truly feel. And are you willing to make a change? I want them to show people that they are not willing to make a change because apparently Triple H, I don't see color. Shit wasn't good enough for Negroes. I try to be real careful. I try to be real careful on what I say on TikTok. TikTok is very sensitive. Triple H got to go. And that hurt condition That heart condition that he has is not moving fast enough. I need Triple H to go. We can start from there, and we'll work everything else from the time of his removal. You know what I'm saying? And it's getting dangerous too, because thing is this: Triple H does have to go, and when we can work everything else out after that, you know what I'm saying? But the key is this: we recognize the problem. We recognize the problem. I need for you all to help encourage the wrestlers. If you tag them, if y'all go to these indie shows and you see the black wrestlers there, start putting it in their head that it is an issue. So that if they were to get up to a certain level, if they were to make it to NXT and they were to make it to the WWE, to wake them up and be more aware of their surroundings instead of them being happy to be there. And the second that some bullshit go on, speak about it, and speak about it on a collective level. I understand why these Negroes are afraid, because there's not enough of us anyway. And they feel like their numbers are not there. You know, wrestling is not just any old regular job. You have to have some type of passion behind this shit. Wrestling isn't a job that you could stop doing and just move on so easy. You know what I'm saying? It's a lifestyle. I understand. It's hard to put something on the line, but it's gotta happen, because by 2030, American Negroes will be non-existent in pro wrestling. And then what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do then? While we got the voices now, while we got the numbers now, or we will be completely erased. There is no reason for, and it's funny too, because they sit there and accept that shit. You know, R-Truth said that they sent him back to that role because that's what the WWE fans know him as. That's what they wanted to see. They didn't advocate for Ron Killings to come back. When was the last time they used R-Truth? When was the last time he had a match? I'm so mad that he came back. I get that he came back because, hey, he get to collect a few more checks. You know, his second exit is going to be even uglier, as the act of pandering is worse than the act of racism itself. But he make it hard for me to even want to advocate for him, because he is fine with Buck being that Buck dancing, Buck broken nigger. He's fine with it. He's being paid well to do so. He's being paid well to tell Montez Ford and Angelo Dawkins to be that Buck broken nigga. Just keep your head down, man. You're getting paid. They don't need to put you on there. You're getting paid. That shit got to end today, as Linda McMahon is actively taking our history out of school. That's got to end today. Because America wants Americans to have a fresh mind. 50 years from now, if I talk to my great-grandchildren, great-great-grandchildren about slavery, they will actually believe that it's a myth. That's got to be avoided today. Ready to conclude. I just really had to express that because Wes Lee been in NXT for 5 years. And Ilja Dragunov been in the WWE for 6 years. He been down to NXT for the longest. He was hurt for a whole freaking year. And you fired Wes Lee because you didn't have nothing to do for him on the roster. But you got this Russian white that don't nobody give a care about. Nobody. To come in and just win a championship like it's nothing. If it isn't racism, then why is that the case? We need to start advocating for some removal. Or we need to start advocating for them to come correct. I'm fine with the WWE showing their true colors. I'm fine with them releasing every single American Negro. I'm fine with them not having a single American Negro wrestle on their program. I'm fine with that. Show us. You have to show us that you mean what you say when you say that you don't want to see colors. You have to show us that shit. And at the same time, white America needs to show us what time it is too. This way, we can know how to direct our fight. Because American Negroes still have a belief. With that being said, American Negroes, protect yourself as an individual and protect one another as family, as our ancestor, Frankie Beverly, stated plainly. We are one. That's the way it is.
We here at Rasslin with Racism hope that each and every single American Negro enjoyed this edition of Rasslin with Racism, as we can assure you that Rasslin with Racism is not the easiest thing in the world to do. We here at Rasslin with Racism aim to exploit white truths. However, white truths isn't the easiest thing to live through. As we continue to wrestle with racism, we are in the second half of our second season, and Wrestling with Racism is hiring for key positions. We are actively seeking an editor. If you are an editor and you are an American Negro, please feel free to DM me your resume. You must be in tune with professional wrestling and social issues regarding race, specifically with American Negroes. You may DM me at non-crackers@al with the L on the end on Twitter X, which is also the place where you can find more white truths. Rasslin with Racism is also actively seeking an associate producer. Please DM me your resume if you are interested in the position. You may also DM me at non-crackers@al on Twitter X, which is also where you can find more white truths. To American Negroes, we encourage you all to voice your opinion on the state of professional wrestling and American Negroes' participation in professional wrestling on camera and behind the scenes, also in executive roles. If you would like to join HBK 400, Deportation 2025, the owner of a stolen gun, and our trusted, valued correspondents, Foundational Bearded American, and Duke CT from the Duke CT Lounge, feel free to DM me at non-crackers@al on Twitter X, which is also the place where you can find more white truths. It is important for our voices to become collective as we are truly facing erasure. American Negroes, take care of yourself as an individual and protect one another as family. As our ancestor, Frankie Beverly, stated plainly, we are one. And that's the way it is.